Good morning. The world is changing, and so are we. Picture a young, aspiring corporate employee some 5+ years ago. Let's call her Eva. Most likely, Eva followed a rather set routine. She woke up in the morning, traveled to the office, met up with co-workers, partners, customers, and followed a rather set routine of corporate rules and procedures. A series of meetings, teamwork, reporting, and so on and so forth. In the evening, she closed the office door and forgot about her work life to pursue whatever private activities were laid out by her. And then 2020 came, the year of the pandemics and the start of the change. The biggest singular global disruptions in the World War II. For those of us who were not digital wizards, we had to get up to speed overnight as our work and studies environment was transferred onto the online environment. And I still remember vividly closing the office door on Friday, the 13th, and being fully geared up from my home remote office on Monday, the 16th of March, 2020. There were no routine chit-chats with colleagues in the canteens, long meetings in the corporate boardrooms, and team-building sessions in person. Instead, we had to get into a completely different and new mode of collaboration, communication, and affinity, be it at work or studies. That was the year when the notion of self-dependency emerged. With a limited exposure to the external world, we had to become more self-reliant and self-resilient in the face of uncertainty to daily life. Self-medication, self-education. All of a sudden, we had to become proficient in skills that we relied on others for. We started to take better care of our health and well-being, including mindfulness practices and meditation, to take care of our stress and anxiety. We rediscovered and took up new hobbies, such as painting, playing musical instruments, photography, to satisfy our need for self-expression. Financial uncertainty prompted us to focus on personal finance, understanding the intricacies of the cash flow savings and potentially some future investments. Suddenly, DIY projects surged, resulting in home decoration, craftsmanship, gardening, and finally, individuals pursued self-directed learning. Online webinars, courses, and other digital educational resources provided us with new skills and knowledge. What were you self-dependent on? As for myself, I get my sanity and self-motivation by having long daily strolls along the seaside, as the horizon provided me with a boundless view and the feeling of unlimited and confined wealth. But what does self-dependency mean in real terms? It is not merely an acquisition of new skills and knowledge. In fact, it is building the newly acquired skills, cognitive patterns, and behavior onto the existing models, resulting in a completely new mode of operation. And perhaps self-dependency was also one of the factors paving the way to the future of work. Recently, there is an increasing understanding that business as usual is not possible anymore due to the constant change faced by companies, as confirmed by a number of recent studies across global corporations. According to the PricewaterhouseCoopers 2022 study involving chief executive officers, 40% of top executives think that their company will not be any more economically viable in 10 years' time, should it pursue its current course. In fact, those executives stress the importance for them to reinvent their businesses for the future. The unprecedented pace of just technological change means that our systems of health, education, distribution, transportation, just to name a few, will be completely transformed. And this transformation will require not just new business models, but also a new model of education and reskilling the workforce. So what about the future of work? According to the management consultancy company's McKinsey study with the same title, the job growth will be in high-skilled jobs, such as healthcare, mathematics, technology, science. Sounds good for you guys, right? While medium and low-skilled jobs will be in decline. Some jobs will be better than the others. Green economy, lifelong learning, healthcare, aging population will favor the jobs related to sustainable business management, healthcare, and lifelong learning. There are calculations already how many millions of jobs will be created and how many millions will be lost as a result of just generative artificial intelligence. According to the World Economic Forum, automation by 2025, which is in 2 years' time, automation will have created 95 million jobs and displaced 85 million old jobs. Automation, starting from industrial robots to automated data processing systems, remains to be the single biggest factor in shaping the outlook for future occupations. Jobs in decline involve a high degree of repetition, elementary data processing and management. In fact, these are the tasks that automation can already handle efficiently. And whilst top management companies calculate new jobs in, old jobs out, Generation Z is pondering around FOBO, or fear of becoming obsolete. It means fearing that technologies will make their jobs unneeded. Anyone here pondering around FOBO? And Generation Z are stepping up also as our future leaders and managers. And they'll be needing to recruit their own workforce or talent. Hiring practices related to the job change are evolving too. The old playbooks are not anymore future-proof. Now recruiters need to identify talent with job-proficient skills next to adaptability to new tech, soft skills, and ability to collaborate. Knowing what a candidate is capable of today is not anymore sufficient. Knowing what a candidate is capable of in the future is much more important. The whole business management paradigm is changing too. Until now, companies were judged on the profit they made for their shareholders. What happens if in our quest for more profit every year, incessantly, we forget that the only planet we inhabit might have an end date, and that this end date is coming sooner than we think? According to United Nations scenarios, if our population and consumption habits continue, we will need an equivalent of 2 planets Earth by 2030 to generate sufficient resources and fresh air for all of us. All business models focused around make, take, waste are not anymore future-proof. Businesses need to forget what they knew and relearn to embrace the future. It is time for businesses to carry out company-wide sustainable transformation, and successful case studies prove that sustainability can be at the heart of transformation and generate value for both the businesses themselves and the society in large. What other future-proof skills are there? Perhaps it's lifelong learning. It's hard to imagine that somebody starting his or her career at this very moment, be it a graphic designer with an e-commerce business or a tax advisor with a major consultancy company, will exit from the same place some X years later. It's so exciting to think how many different avenues will be explored in one's professional lifetime. And it is not unlikely that a former tax advisor will become an expert in machine learning at one point of his or her life, and then master cooking skills at a top-notch Michelin star-rated restaurant sometime later. Sounds like a fun, right? When it comes to secondary or childhood education, new skills to be taken across social, societal, cognitive, and other levels is quite expressed. To name just a few, curiosity, adaptability, kindness, empathy are among those skills to be taken to a new level. So we'll be relearning how to be kind and empathetic. We are just getting aware of the future potential of generative artificial intelligence. In what skills can we compete or collaborate with artificial intelligence? Perhaps it is kindness and it is empathy. Imagine 2030. What will you be doing? Commuting a flying taxi, having a chip implanted, traveling to the space, or living in a smart shared home? Or strolling barefoot across a green, lush meadow and making the world a better place to live? Let's make our choices smartly. Let's embrace the change and make the best for all of us and the best for the planet. Thank you very much.